I'm up to the last part of mixing up 500 mils of resin, and it was a equal part A, part B resin using an Australian brand, Mad Resin. And I'm just showing you how beautiful and clear it is. This resin is clear at both part A and part B. We're checking for the last little bits of the streaky bits, and it's looking pretty good. As you can see, there's hardly any air bubbles. I don't stir vigorously when I'm mixing up my resin. I just stir nicely. I'm letting you know it took me 4 minutes to mix up that 500 ml. And it was a beautiful, perfect day for it. It was about 22 degrees. So I'm now considering where I'm going to pour my resin to, and I'm just about to pour, and I have a thought. No, don't pour it. Wait a minute. And what's my thought? My thought is that this level of resin that's down has been sitting for about 4 days now. And whilst I can't really see any dust or oil, I really should give it a clean. Particularly conscious of that because I'm wanting a beautiful, clear, transparent finish. So I just get my alcohol. I think it's a 91 or 97% isoproofen. How do you even say that? Anyway, alcohol, give it a clean, showing you that there hardly anything came off, but a few flecks of dust did. So just as well I did. When your dust gets into your resin, it does float up to the top and it cures into the top layer and can give a tiny little dimple or just a flatness. And if you're going for that super duper whooper high gloss finish, it can be a little bit frustrating. So I've started my pour and I poured straight onto the amethyst cluster. Wow, I've lost my pouring stick. Oh, awesome save. And just keep pouring round and round and round and round. And as you can see, the resin is just pulling itself out to the edges of the tray. And there really wasn't much at all to this part of the process. Now I'm just tilting my tray to make sure that the resin goes into all of the edges and that I've got a beautiful even cover. My table is level, so when I put it down for the final cure, or for it to set, it'll be fine. So I'm just tipping away, making sure that I feel satisfied that everything's well and truly covered. And yeah, now I'm just sort of waiting to see what I do next. Why have I abandoned it? Is there any video where I don't just walk off and leave the process sitting? Oh, wow, it's a lot of seconds. Should I come back and edit this out? No, because I really want to actually get this up today for everyone. Oh, look, there's my nose on the other side. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I've gone around to all angles to make sure that I'm really satisfied that the resin has pushed into the edges. Because it's clear and I've poured onto a relatively clear substrate, I couldn't quite see where the resin had gone properly unless I got right down to eye level. And so that should be it for that. And now just flicking out those air bubbles. Hardly any were in there, as you saw. Woo! Put it on fire. Made no difference to the clarity of the table, I can tell you, fortunately. But ideally, you don't want to put your resin on fire. Oh, yay, we've got a thumbs up. We're moving on. So I waited about maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And the reason I waited 45 minutes before I started building up my crushed glass was just so that the resin was thick and at the first part of its curing, meaning that when I put this glass on, it doesn't slide off the resin, that the resin can actually hold it in place. And I sort of build the crushed glass around and around just to help create a bed for that amethyst cluster in the middle. I don't know if you remember me saying I was a little bit dissatisfied with the squareness it was looking. So I'm just adding that crushed glass in, and now using the last little bit of resin that was in my jug. I don't know if you noticed I didn't scrape my jug out, but I didn't on purpose, so that I could use that last bit of resin just to drizzle over the applied crushed glass now, to secure it in and to seal it down. The great thing about adding the resin over the top of all of this too is that it just sits over those sharper edges, making them just not so sharp, so it's not a dangerous piece. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm sure it does. So now I'm just poking around and making sure that I'm pretty happy with where the resin is covering the crushed glass, and that the crushed glass has made a nice little happy bed for the amethyst. And yeah, this part of the process was really, really quite simple. I did air bubble pop in a second, but you don't see it. So it's beautiful and glossy. And can you see that I just built up a little bit more area around the amethyst crystal with the crushed sparkle glass? Just because I felt like it was missing a bit of sparkle, I just wanted a bit more, but without adding any more glitter. And I utilised, I left probably only about 10 mils of the resin in my Pyrex jug after I had let the initial big pour that you saw me do sit for about half an hour, just so that the resin had started to move into its thicker viscosity, meaning that when I drizzled it over the little bits of crushed glass that I added, it wasn't so runny that it would push it away and we'd have bits floating down here. So we're going to leave this to cure for a couple of days. I mean, of course, you know it'll be right to touch in 12 hours, but I'm at the gallery and I won't be back until Sunday. It's Tuesday today, so that's more than a couple of days. I bet you I end up coming up just to see how it goes anyway, because it does look really, really gorgeous. I'm just bringing you over to show you the tabletop that it will go into. So, you know, you can see that this is the substrate itself when it's got a pour in it, and you know that we made the plastic mold that I sticky taped down around the back, and then we poured into it, and now we're just hopeful that it will look okay sitting on there. Though I think, considering it's clear, I think the white base might be all right. Looking at it makes me want to add lines of something in the next mold to consolidate with the base. But anyhow, that's what's going on. Let's finish on this nice piece here. Have a lovely day. Today is the day of the unmolding. Well, not much has changed, as you can see, and we wouldn't have expected anything to change, huh? So how about I pop you on a tripod and let's unmold this baby. Okay, here we go. So it should just lift out. I'll peel the sticky tape off the back. Oh, as you can see, I just used painter's tape. It has got a, oh well, that was fabulous. Look at that. Oh. Oh, all right. Oh, fine. Oh. Oh dear. So some of the plastic has melted into the side. Oh no, it hasn't. It's just not the best plastic to use. Are you seeing what's happening? Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da! Oh. I'll just show you what's happening here on the side. Because I heat gunned it there, it's really taken nice grip. And on these bits here, because they're uneven, I'll come back and pick that bit off. some parts have just sort of taken a nice little liking to the edge. But fundamentally, it's worked really, really well. I mean, it was super duper whooper thin plastic. So I'll just keep wrestling it. It's funny when I'm in front of the video how I feel like I need to talk and not concentrate so much on what I'm doing. Keep going. Oh, fantastic. I'll have to come back and pull some of these little bits off. Like that. You still in shot? Yeah. Oh, look at that part, went nicely. Peeled away really well. And here peels away really well. And there are little tiny little bits of plastic left in some areas, but this is it. Oh, wow. So I'm really, really happy with it in the first instance. You know, just looking at it now, it's really, really strong. It's got no bend in it. And it's about, I don't know, I would say, well, how about I get a ruler and we'll see how wide it is. I just want to see if I can show you here. Look how flat I've got all of that glass in there. So that can be really used well as a table. See, even around here, just look at the top. That's only how much is protruding, not protruding. And the rest is flat. I'll just show you like that. Really fabulously functional tabletop. All right, let's put it in a tray, the table side stand tray, and see how it looks. Let's go. Dun, da, 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 da. It's time for the inaugural crowning of the Amethyst Crushed Glass Resin Table. Wow, what do you reckon? Oh, there's a bit of tape there. Don't you just love it? I friggin' do. I'll bring you in for a closer look. I mean, I don't know why, because you can see it perfectly from there, but of course we want to have a closer look. So here we go. How gorgeous is it? I'm so happy with how it's turned out. I'm so happy with how beautiful and clear it is. And I'm just so happy. I hope you enjoyed this process, and I really hope that you give this project a whirl. It was so much fun, and I've just got so many ideas. I cannot wait to do the next one. Shall I show you the next one I do? Oh, all right, I will. Have a wonderful day, everyone.